Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Denise. Today I want to talk a little bit more about techniques. I'm going to explain this in a way that's going to help you understand further that it's not really about the technique. I get a lot of questions about basically people asking permission, if it's okay to do it this way, if it's okay to think this, if it's okay to not do this. Also wondering, how often and how frequently and how many times, and a lot of questions around techniques. So we're going to address that in this video. Before I get started, I want to let you know that I have a specific person workshop coming up next week, Wednesday, February 12th. It's 11 a.m. Pacific time, but you do not need to be available during that time. Once you register for this workshop, you can email me with your concerns, your circumstances, your questions, all of it, even more than once if you need to, that's fine. And I will be sure to address that during the workshop. And then everyone that has registered will have received the link to have access to join the live and to the video thereafter. So that's all fun and good and exciting. There's a link in the description below for you to check that out. Now, okay, again, like I was saying, techniques. I get a lot of people questioning, like asking for permission and wondering what's okay and how do I do and what's the point, or how many times, or can I do this and can I not do that? And also getting really caught up in this idea that a technique is like, like a curriculum that you have to do to get a degree. And that's completely not the case. Any technique, all techniques, it's a way of becoming. That's what it is. In fact, I have the definition of technique: a way of carrying out a particular task. Period. Like that's all a technique is. And so if we look at what the particular task is, instead of having this idea that your particular task is to create this thing in your 3D reality, or to have, whatever it is, your desire manifested, your particular task is to become aware of and from a reality or a perspective that was previously not seen. Like that's the important part, is that you're not, I want you to understand that you're not doing a technique to make something appear in your 3D reality. You can't, and you never will get there from there, because that's a state of efforting. That's a state of trying to make the reflection show something that you're not authentically being. Your techniques, again, it's a way for you to become aware of and from a reality, a perspective, a version, a circumstance, an outcome that was previously unseen. Okay? I'm going to say this in a different way. So, techniques are permission slips, or a way you can practice starting to see something beyond your physical senses. That's it. Your techniques, this is why prayer is so amazing, or being silent and going within, and meditation, whatever you want to call it, taking time to create, to see, to perceive, to feel from the reality of, using this beautiful tool that we have of imagination. This is why it's so important, because we're learning that we don't have to continue to only perceive from what our five senses are showing us. You're learning to go beyond that. You are learning to expand your consciousness beyond. You're transcending the physical realm, the physical reality. You're transcending the five senses, and you're going into the space where all things exist, and you're learning to see them without your physical eyes. You're learning to hear them without your physical ears. You're learning to experience them without your physical reflection 3D reality. And most importantly, you're learning to feel from there without the validation of the reflection of the 3D reality. And that's all this is. It's you aren't learning to make things appear in your reality. You're learning to go into the kingdom of heaven and have anything that you desire. You're learning to go beyond your 3D reality, to go outside of it. Like that's the other thing, is your 3D reality doesn't exist outside of you. It's within you. Your 3D reality is inside of you. You're not in reality. Reality is in you. And in fact, all of the possible potential circumstances, realities are within you, not just the one that you have been aware of. But, right, so techniques, it doesn't, yes and no. You can do them all the time. You can do them none of the time. You can do them this way and that way. You can flip them up, smack them, rub them down. I don't care, whatever. Oh no, it doesn't matter. That's not the important part. You are the creator. You can do it any way you want. This is why, like, I know, I talk about my experience with like consistent affirming and a lot of scripting and techniquing and doing that created something very undesirable for me. But this is why sometimes robotic affirming works. There is a reality, there is a space where robotic affirming gives people results. So that's not to be overlooked. I'm not dismissing that, but I'm saying it's not about the technique itself. It's not about the technique itself. It's about who you're being and what you're believing to be true about the technique. And you can look to others and look to examples and look to your coaches and look to that for permission to believe in something, or you can just recognize and decide that you're making all the rules. If you want to just drop it and let it be done, absolutely you can do that. Can you? Because if you can, you can. That's the thing. If you can, yes, you can, right? If you want to robotically affirm for 3 days and have it show up, absolutely you can do that. But again, it's if you can, you can, which means if you are standing in that reality, if you're assuming that to be true, then that is what will be true for you. So it doesn't matter. It's not a curriculum you're learning to follow. Techniques are just ways for people. It's so silly because it's not, but what we're doing by explaining techniques and their angles and teaching people how to practice them, we're basically exploring and learning how to become aware of what we're becoming aware of. That's all it is. And everyone has their own, right? We're all aware of things through different, like some of us are more aware through conversations we're having in our head with imaginal others. Some of us are more aware through just feeling something without really hearing or seeing words in our mind. Some of us are more aware by seeing imagery. And some of us, it's a combination. It's all different. There's so many different ways to slice up the all that is and have that experience. And so, but that's all the techniques are. It's not a curriculum you have to follow. It's people are looking at it and saying, well, these are the ways that you might potentially currently be aware of the thing you don't want. So this is how you can practice being aware of the reality you do want. That's all it is. You're learning to be aware of what you're being aware of. So that's what I want you to really contemplate on, meditate on, and know is true for yourself, that the techniques themselves don't matter. They're just means to an end. They're permission for you to become aware of and from a reality or a circumstance or an experience that was previously unseen. And the most important part of this is that all the experiences, whether seen or unseen, they're not outside of you. They're within you. They all exist within. So your ability to become aware of any preferred one is much greater than you're giving yourself permission to believe. In fact, only you can become aware of it. Like, it is only real, it is only an experience, it only exists as possible because you can be aware of it, right? Does that make sense? It's like ice trying to figure out how to be cold. It already is. It just is. You don't have to figure out how to be something or how to get something because it's not out there to get. And in fact, if you continue to try to figure out how to get it, you'll continue to exist in this space of believing and assuming that you don't have it. And that's the big thing, is you're not trying to figure out how to get something. You are it. You're learning to become aware of it, to see from that experience, to hear from that experience, and again, more importantly, to feel from that experience. So, this is where I give you full permission to abandon everything you've ever believed about techniques and manifestation and start feeling from that which was previously unseen, because it all exists within your mind. All right? All right. I love you all. I will see you next video.